Good morning, traders. TG Watkins here. It is February 6th when I'm recording this, and the market is pulling back a bit. We started to see that with some weakness going basically Friday's close. Friday was okay for a lot of stocks, and then Friday's close kind of sold off a bit. But if we look at the SPY, you can see that this was pretty much overbought. I mean, we jumped out of the 30 ATR and we got off the moving averages, and we've been having a pretty good move. So a 2-day spurt after the FOMC and after a very strong January seemed like a bit much, and so the market's pulling back, and there were a lot of names that have been doing well, and so we're basically just kind of looking for that pullback. Now, another thing that finally triggered on the FOMC was gold and GDX and all that kind of stuff. Let me show you a couple things that I've been watching with gold, because I had a lot of people ask me if we should be buying gold right here, and I said no for, well, a few reasons. And one of those, if we look here and we look at the, let's see, over here again and look at the monthly and the weekly time frame. Number one, we had price coming right back into this major, previous area. That's just kind of something visually that we can look at. Another thing that we could look at is here on the weekly chart. See how price was outside of the 30 ATR and see how it was extended off of there. So that was all telling me that, unlikely this was a great place to get long and go long. If we look at the daily chart, we could see the same thing. It was getting pretty extended up over here. And then on the hourly chart, we could see that overall, long term, we were making new highs. But look at the Moxie Indicator and how we had negative divergence. So I could see that at some point, this is going to cause a problem. And if you want to look near term, when the Moxie Indicator was telling us that, you can see right here, there's the Moxie price trigger. And that tells us that the indicator has now gone from positive to negative, and that, it's not a good time to be long. And then because of the FOMC, the gold shot up, okay? But what was that? Price was up over the 50. Notice the Moxie Indicator was below zero. That's an inverse trampoline move. And that is a false long or a short signal. It depends on the situation. And in through here, it was also telling us that that move up was not very strong. That Moxie Indicator did not look good. They should not be spread like that or below zero. You want them to be nice and tight and above zero and leading up to a nice strong move. So that was basically a fake out move, and that is something that the Moxie Indicator helps you determine, especially with this inverse trampoline move on the hourly time frame. The other thing I could look at is that price has been very far away from the daily 50, and I have a feeling that's probably where we're going to end up, if not even a little bit further. So I don't think it's going to be a straight line, of course. I mean, this was a pretty solid move, but I'd imagine we're going to probably come down like this. We might bounce a little bit, and then I'd expect us to come back down. So I do think that there's going to be some more downside. But I do think eventually that downside, this pullback is good and healthy, and we should, if you're interested in gold and precious metals, I would be just being patient, but I would imagine that the pullback will eventually be into some strength, and then we can look at buying it. But I wouldn't be buying it yet. I don't think this pullback is done. As I said, there could be a bounce, so if you want to trade that, fine. Or if you want to try and get short again at some point, fine. But I think that it's resting and finding its support for the next move up, and it's just going to take some time to do that. All right, everyone, thanks again, and we'll see you at the next one.
Hey, TG here with Simpler Trading. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like or comment below. Also, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my market analysis. Or you can join my free newsletter with the link in the description. Good trading.